So today I get to clean out this fish pond using my new meta glasses. So you'll get to see exactly what I'm doing. So some POV pond servicing. So I've got this pond here that I'm going to service. So the fishies are all looking very good. So the first thing I'm going to do is test up the water. So now while I've got a bit of visibility, I'm going to go and try and net out as many leaves as possible. So the more regularly we can do this, the better the pond is. So the fish look really good. They're not fat, they're not thin. Very happy with the fish. So I'll get busy doing this for a while. Now I can check the water. KH is 0, which I'm very worried about. I need to raise that using this one. GH is 0, which isn't great. I need to raise it using that one. pH is good. Phosphate's good. Ammonium nitrite's good. And the nitrate's quite good. So because there's been a lot of rain, this pond's been well and truly flushed. But all in all, it's actually looking very good. I'm going to add a bit of coral in just to try and help keep that KH up, just by adding a bit of calcium carbonate. Now it's really important we don't let the waterfall get grown over with these vines, because if these vines grow over the waterfall, it can divert the water into the garden as opposed to falling back into the pond where it's meant to be. So I like to try and make sure the waterfall itself is quite free of all these vines, because the mosses and vines look great, but I don't want them diverting the water out of the pond, which absolutely can happen. So making sure that's all nice and free, and then I'm getting a lot of leaf litter out of the pond. So I want to try and get all this crap out as much as I can, and adding products like sludge remover and Pristine are really good for breaking this solid waste down. So now what I'm doing, so I'm going to switch this over to backwash. Then I'm going to pump on this handle, and that's going to start backwashing the filter. Now really we want this done very regularly, because I can see that the water coming out of this is brown as hell. So that's a clear pipe, but it's putridly brown at the moment, which means that we really want to do this more regularly if we can. So we just switch that, we start pumping on this, and we really want to do that until it goes clear. So I might be here for a while. These filters are really good. The other thing to be aware of is the UV sterilizers in these need cleaning, need replacing once a year. So this water's fairly clear. So if we noticed a bit of discoloration in the water, then replacing the UV would be a good idea. And just doing it once a year anyway is a very good idea. Because the other thing about water clarity is, because you're seeing the pond all the time, sometimes if the clarity decreases, you don't really notice, because you're seeing it so often. So I'll be busy doing this. This is where the pond's backwashing. So when I'm actually pumping on that handle, this goes very brown. So when it's pumping, this would be much browner, but that's still very brown. So backwashing this filter is going to pull all this debris out, and this is going to be a wonderful way to do a water change. Because I haven't pumped it for a while, you'll see it's going clearer. I have to pump it to just keep cleaning those sponges out. So you can see that's quite clear now, because I haven't pumped on this for a bit. And if I start pumping on this, you start seeing that go a bit darker. It's starting to get clean now. Because once I pump on that and this is clean, that means the filter's nice and clean. So that's going pretty well. And now what I've got to do is clean this filter out. The way I'm going to do that is grab these sponges. You can see that's nice and dirty. Then I'm going to give these a clean in water I've taken out of the pond to keep all the good bacteria alive. I'm going to return this clean media back to the filter. Now, there's a lot that I like about this pond, but one of the things I really like about this pond is how well built it is and how well all these are concreted in. Because so often I'll go to a pond and they haven't done a good job concreting the outside in, and it looks like crap, and stepping around it is very unsure, whereas this pond's beautifully built because walking here is very stable. So when you are building a pond, make sure that you do the surrounds well, because it really finishes the pond off and it looks better, and it makes servicing so much better when you're not worried about knocking rocks into the pond or falling in yourself. So I've given the pump a good clean. The pump's just there, and I'm getting lots of leaf litter out of the pond. Another thing I really love about this pond too is the way that the surrounding rocks are raised, which means when you get water runoff in the area, it means that the pond isn't the lowest point. So obviously we're going to get leaves and stuff in the pond, but it's nowhere near as bad as if the rain could allow runoff to go straight into the pond. So there's quite a lot that I really like about this pond. And these fish are just so friendly. They're just really not leaving me alone, but somehow they seem smart enough not to go in the fish net as well. So when you are doing cleaning, it's really good to just create a predictable behavior, like just keep doing that, so the fish are aware to stay away from where you're working. The more random you are, the more likely you're going to catch a fish. I've now taken enough water out of the pond. I don't want to take out too much, so now I'm just going to switch the backwash off so the filter goes back to just recycling within the aquarium or the pond, because we've done enough water change now and I don't want to water change too much. It is summer at the moment, so we have done a very large water change. In winter we've got to be more careful not to change too much water, because we can actually shock the system. So I'm going to add these coral pieces in as well. Just going to try to help with the pH a little bit. This isn't enough to be a miracle cure, but it sure might help a little bit. Put that in there. Okay, so now I'm going to refill the pond again, and every 5 centimeters that I raise up the pond, I'm going to put a full dose of water ager in it to make sure that I don't get any chlorine and chloramone in there. So I'm also going to put a full dose of this in, because the GH was basically 0, so we'll need all of that to try to raise the GH up. What the GH is going to do is really help the body slime and the immune system of the fish. We're also going to have to raise up the KH as well, so that's that in there as well. So KH, GH and water ager is what you want to look at when you're doing water changes. Then when you're doing a top-up, so you're just topping up from evaporation, you definitely need water ager. If you're just doing a tiny little top-up, if you use nothing, it's not the end of the world. But if you're doing a larger top-up, it's safer to use some water ager. And then how much of the GH or KH you use is really going to be governed by what the levels are in the pond at the time. Service isn't something that you just do once and suddenly it's all good. It's really a matter of doing a series of small services to get it back to good again, because it's just too stressful on the fish to go changing too much water at a time and doing too much. You just want to improve the environment each time. So it's very common, because of how much I disturb everything, when I leave, it's very common that any pond or aquarium I'm working on looks worse when I leave. Now, the other thing to be aware of with ponds as well is trying to make sure there's not residual trees around. So these ones really aren't too bad, but just keeping an eye on all your vines and just trying not to have really residual trees. So all in all, this pond's actually really great. But the ponds that are under trees that drop heaps, like these things will drop stuff, but really, this is really pretty good actually. The design on this pond is really great. So when you're designing a pond, just try and use a lot of these features. Try and make sure the outside is well secure and raised. Try to make sure that there's not residual trees that are going to fall into it. Try to make sure the pond is not the lowest point in the garden that can experience runoff. And this pond is very over filtered, which is excellent. There's not a lot to not like about this pond. This is a great pond. Again, it's really important to understand how water ager works. You can't really overdose it, like don't go out of your way to try. But the water ager basically will stabilize within seconds, and it can only do the water that's there. So you can't put that in, then fill your pond up and expect it to work. It's just not how it works. You want to put 5 centimeters in, give it a full dose, and then it will do its job. So it does a lot: chlorines, chloromones, ammonia, nitrite. So it will find something to bond to. So even if there's not chlorine in the water, this is not going to just be available for you waiting around for chlorine to be there, because it will find something to bond to basically straight away. Great brand. I love Mesicam. So after a major pond or aquarium service, it's really worth taking a sample of water down to the store and a video of your pond or aquarium running, so we can just check how it's all gone a few days or a week after the service. Because once again, during a service like this, we're disrupting everything. So it's really great just to bring a sample down and just find out what impact that's had on the pond, or the aquarium for that matter. So in general, it's a step in the right direction. But once again, because you are disturbing everything, it's not uncommon for a major service like this to actually create a step backwards. So just to be safe, if possible, bring a sample of water and a video of your pond or aquarium running after you do something major. Whether we do it or you do it, just getting a follow-up test is a great idea. Job is all done now, and the fish are all very happy. A little bit more regular servicing would be great, but all in all, I'm very happy with this pond. Water quality is great. The fish quality is great. I would like to see the fish food though, because I would like to know what they're being fed. But I'm very happy with them. Great pond.